Hello and welcome to Pat Bear's Anime Club. This is my summer 2021 wrap up and my fall. I was about to say winter. My fall 2021 preview because winter will be 2022. That's different. Anyway, I'm going to first start talking about a bunch of stuff that came out this season that is wrapping up at the time of this recording. Not every show is over, including shows that I'm interested in seeing the final episode of. So we haven't gotten every episode of this season done, but we're mostly there, so we can talk about them. Some have wrapped up. A couple of them wrapped up today at the time of this recording. A couple shows end. So there's plenty to talk about, and then we'll do a preview of next season. Now, not every show has a start date. Not every show has a known release, and we don't know what every show is going to be on what streaming platform is going to be on. Crunchyroll, Funimation, Netflix, but we'll go through it. We are using anychart.net. If you want to follow along, yours will look a little different than mine because I have some settings that I play around with in it, but you can kind of go along with that if you'd like. We're doing alphabetical order for both because it's easier. So let's start with a show that I didn't watch. Battle Game in 5 seconds. Didn't watch it. I know that it is a sci-fi. I'm missing R in the link. You're right, Wildcat. Thank you so much. I put the link into chat, but I didn't put the correct link into chat, and I put any chat, which while I am sure that there is anime chat out there, I don't. Yeah, that was the wrong link. Thank you very much, Wildcard, for correcting me. Yes, that is anychart.net is the website I'm using. I mean, what can I say about Battle Game in 5 seconds? I didn't watch it. I watched the first episode to find out if the character if they had traveled to a different world, and there's an argument to be made that this is an isekai because they travel to a different world, but I don't think it is, because I think if someone wanted to count this as an isekai, I would say, okay, fine, especially because the main character theoretically dies and all of the characters in it have their existence erased, supposedly. That's what I got from the first episode. So it's totally possible that this is indeed an isekai. So I'll leave that up to your thoughts. I didn't watch it. It was just didn't strike my fancy. I also did not watch Decide Tremere the animation. I literally don't know anything about this show other than that it's on Crunchyroll, and I have heard nothing about it. No one I know has seen it, which is not a mark on its quality at all. That is not a statement on its quality. Just the fact that I have had zero buzz or information about it, which is fine. I just don't know what it is. It didn't seem interesting. I will say, having a main character whose approach to perhaps physical fitness and martial arts training is kickboxing is kind of different. A lot of times you get your male protagonist has done like Aikido or Kendo or training or something like that. So to have it be kickboxing could be interesting, but I'll probably never know. I can talk to you about Drugstore in Another World, The Slow Life of a Cheat Pharmacist. Here's a show that I watched. I finished it at the time of this recording. This last episode aired today. So I have finished this show. And let me tell you, this is an isekai, but it's a lowercase I in isekai. And it's a capital S and L in slice of life. This is a slice of life with the trappings of an isekai to get to the part where it is a slice of life. This is about a dude that works at a pharmacy in a magical land, and he makes healing potions that taste good, which no one ever had. He calls them energy drinks. He makes practical solutions for people's problems, and also fantastical, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like, he does make read people's mind potions, but then he'll also make help your sunblock. He makes sunblock. He does a bunch of different things. There's a lot of fantasy elements of it, but it's really about our main dude, Reggie, and Mina, who is a ghost because he opened his pharmacy in a house that was cheap, and of course it is haunted. And she's just like, well, I guess I'll work here. And then also there's a little wolf girl that he saves. And I'm kind of saying like question mark because like you do figure this out. This show makes the choice to skip all of the isekai part. Like it opens with him having his own business. And there's like a little reference to him being like confused about why he got summoned and how he met the characters. But we don't find out how he meets Mina the ghost until like part way into the series because it doesn't care. And that is where a lot of flack for this show apparently comes from. A lot of people were unhappy with this show because they are looking for action isekai, and this is a slice of life that happens to use the trappings. So it's a little bit similar to maybe like I've been killing slimes for 300 years, which or maybe like By the Grace of the Gods, which is has action. It certainly has way more action than this does, but they're mostly the slice of life part. So it's in that kind of category. I would say it's fine. It's like fine. It's okay. I didn't. I don't want to read the light novels. I don't want to read the manga. I was satisfied with the anime. My favorite character isn't even in this photo, which is a shame. Paula, the shop owner, because she has an actual personality, and most of the characters in this show don't really have strong personalities that aren't just tropes. Um, but it is perfectly satisfying if you're looking for a real easy slice of life, because we didn't get a lot of slice of life this season that weren't bad romantic comedies, and there's no shows this season that is a bunch of high school girls into a thing. We didn't get that kind of slice of life either. We don't even get that next season. The closest we got was the drama about two girls into a thing, but I would say that's not the same thing. Um, I don't have a lot of good things to say about Fena Pirate Princess. Um, I don't think Fena is an interesting character. I think the world around her is very interesting, but I don't she doesn't do anything for me as a character. Like she doesn't like pull in anything, make me interested in her, make me interested in like her plight. Um, it's still going, and I appreciate that it's an original series. I think it looks beautiful. Production IG does great work. There's no doubt about that, but it doesn't draw me the way that I wish it did. Um, I really do wish that it was, a stronger show than it is. Uh, so yeah. Um, Get a Robo arc. I believe yes, that is. It's on High Dive, and then you can watch it through Verve. I have not watched this. I have watched old Getter Robo in the past, but I have not picked this up. Uh, and yeah, I haven't heard much about this for even for my big time mecha fans that I know and follow, on social media and all that, have had nothing to say about this, which has been I would go so far as to say surprising. It is kind of surprising that I haven't heard more about Get a Robo. Um, I do have a friend who has watched every episode of Girlfriend, um, and this seems like pleasant trash. Now, I should say this because I haven't said this on a stream in a while or in a Pat Bear's Anime Club video in a while. Trash is not inherently bad. You could say the drugstore to another world, the slow life of a cheap pharmacist is trash because it's fluff. This is trash. I don't think it's particularly great trash. I've watched 3 episodes of this, but basically, dude's got a girlfriend, and he's very happy about that. And then another girl is like, I want to go out with you. And he's like, well, I would feel bad to turn her down. So why don't the three of us date? And that's the leap that, and of course, everyone it's because it's a high school comedy, and I think it does a great job of that. No one is confident about this plan. Everyone just there's a lot of like reaction faces in it of like, what did you just say? What do you want from me? And just like the thing that I can't get past is why can't you reject a person because you have you're in a committed relationship, end that relationship to start dating someone new, or don't date someone new. And the compromise of just being like, well, let's date, just doesn't work for me. And then I'm fine with the idea that there are other people that want to get involved in this shit and it just spirals out of control. I think that is perfectly reasonable and good that it just keeps going and gets even weirder. But the basic premise, I'm just like, no. I believe I said when we were doing the preview of this season that my opinion on this was that I was going to um, uh, I was only going to check this out if someone I knew was really into it, and someone I know was really into it. So I did start to check it out, and that is a thing that I will say as we start previewing the fall season. That if there's something, there will be a couple things that I'm like, someone's got to tell me they love this thing for me to watch it. Um, Here's a show I would not watch at all. Higarashi When They Cry, Sotsu, which is the sequel to Go, which was supposed to be, supposedly was a remake of Higarashi When They Cry, but in actuality is like a sequel, a follow-up series to that. It's not even a reimagining; it's like more of the story. Uh, if you are looking for horror in your anime, you don't get a lot of horror anime out there. So give this a go. You probably, if you really like horror anime, you don't need me to tell you that you should check this out because you watched it or you're watching it. You're very excited that this exists for you. Enjoy it. Um, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom at the time of this recording. The 13th episode has not aired at the time of this release of this video on my YouTube. It has aired, and I am pleasantly happy to finish it. Having 13 episodes, I was really happy with because it feels like I've got to read the manga for this thoroughly because I feel like things are getting kind of um, uh, condensed. It's a thick world here. I really like it. Hey, it's an isekai. Dude gets summoned. He's summoned as basically there's a demon war, which we see very little of. We're really dealing with a country that is just in trouble. And they were like, hey, we don't have the money to pay back this loan, so we're going to offer you as a summon to this other kingdom. And he's like, well, instead of that, what if I helped you find the money and I helped this country rebuild itself? And they were like, okay, yes, you're now the king. And the princess you can get married to. Nathan says, love this show. Love the show. I think the show is great. Soma is an interesting, like this was the dude that was going to go into civil service. That was his thing. So this is totally down, he's a knowledgeable young man. This is his thing. He has moments of realizing, which is incredible, I should say, for a main character in an isekai that is not comical, for the main character to have moments of self-doubt and realizing I'm in over my head and I actually don't know what I'm supposed to do here is awesome. Because usually that's only for like comedy. Like in ReZero, our dude understands that he's in over his head. But in other shows of isekais, including a couple that we'll talk about later, those characters generally are just like, I'm the main character, this is going great. And he's like, well, I'm doing some cool shit, but I am definitely in over my head in many instances. The cooking episode was my favorite. Yes, the I do want to talk about the brilliant use of. So they have this thing where there's like, you can project any image you want to the people. These like summoning things, and usually it's for big announcements. It's for like, oh, we're doing this procession, so the country should see this, that kind of thing. He's just like, no, I want to talk to people because he's from Japan and Earth, and so he understands the value of broadcast. And the first time he does it, it's not as blatant as what he does later. The fact that it's propaganda, and it's blatantly called propaganda in it, and I appreciate that. But yes, so in order to get the people on board with trying foods they haven't, which will solve their food shortage problems, or at least help them, he basically does a cooking show where he's like, I'm going to show you these meals, and I'm going to have these attractive ladies who work for me eat these foods because that's more appealing, and they're different people. There's like a beast girl and an elf and the princess of the kingdom trying these foods. So you're going to be like, oh, we'll try that out. And some of it's just like, well, we eat these here. And it's like, oh, yeah, we eat these. This is a delicacy to us. And you're like, what? And they're like, or like in the same way that lobster used to be food for the poor because they just assumed that it wasn't interesting and that was what fishermen ate. That the same way they're like octopus, you can eat octopus, and then like there's a little kid that's just like, we should try that when we get home, and you're like, oh, that's really nice, and you're like, wait, this is propaganda. Um, there is a moment where they've taken over part of another country, and they have this like presentation of music, and they have like a cute little girl sing a song, and it's like, oh, and they have like a beautiful woman sing a song, and they're like, oh, and then they have a woman from the military of this country that's been invaded sing their national anthem, and he's just like, why why would I rule a country where people cannot sing songs and be proud? And it's this like magnanimous moment of like telling these people, hey, now that we're in charge of this place, you also have some freedoms that we have. And it's fucking propaganda. And it's interesting to even see that in an anime, to have that even be discussed, these tactics that he's using. It reminds me a bit of how, like, Gate is another isekai that seems to be trying desperately to hide that it's a propaganda machine, whereas this one is just like, yeah, these are tools of war. Um, it's interesting. It's a really interesting isekai. I think the characters are really fun. It's got some light moments, like some humor into it, and overall, I think is just like pretty dang rad. So I would recommend. It's one of my favorite shows this season. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Um, I have not watched a single episode of I'm Standing on a Million Lives season 2. For honestly, can't believe this show got a second season. I am waiting for it to for the manga to wrap up so that I can be spoiled about the ending of it, because I want to know what the secret of the plot is, like what the twist is, because I've guessed it. But basically, there's this death game. Like they travel between worlds, play this game. It's not really a game. They're leveling up because there's an event in their future that is catastrophic. So they're training in order to be able to stand up to that conflict. And the main character is a psychopath. Um, and it was kind of funny in the first season that he would have moments where he almost had a breakthrough and then he would reject that breakthrough. But that kind of went away, and it's mean where it doesn't need to be mean, and hurtful where it doesn't need to be hurtful. And there's some beautiful tragedy in it that I like. Also, there is a girl in there, the girl all the way on the left, who is she is a mage, but her ideas of what it means to be a wizard don't come from fantasy, like RPGs and that kind of thing. She's an otaku that loves shoujo. So her idea of being a wizard is being a magical girl, and it's refreshing. And I would love to see that explored in a better show. Is what I'll say about that. I did not watch a second of Idolish 7, second beat, a third beat, which is the follow up to second beat, which I assume is the follow up to beat. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just Idolish was the first season. Um, I'm not much for idol music kind of things, so did not watch it. Um, I watched a bunch of this. I have not finished it. I think I will. because Kageki Shoujo is sweet as hell. So part of me, because I'm just who I am. I am me in all ways. The idea of a musical and theater arts school slice of life could be really interesting. And this isn't really a slice of life, it is indeed a drama. But our main character, Watanabe, is, or Sarasa, is so pure and so great. This like tall, weirdo, wonderful force of nature. The girls are all great. They're all best girls. This is a show of best girls. Um, as I said, I have not finished this. I do not know where it goes, but as an actor myself, out of practice actor, I certainly appreciate that. Also, this as someone that went to acting school for 1 year, this feels fucking real and good. Um, and I am going to finish it. I'm going to finish it. Because I do like it. I thought the art style would turn me off, but I do think the way this picture I don't think does it justice. The way it animates, I think is much cleaner. So yeah, uh, I have friends who were a big fan of Life Lessons with Ramachi Onisan, um, and it is a slice of life, and I do like slice of lives, but I don't think it's a funny show. I do not particularly enjoy the idea of the very premise of it doesn't work for me in a way that I enjoy it, which is uh, the people who work at a children's show are unhappy. The show. If that is appealing to you, if that is interesting to you, this show might be worth it checking out. Uh, it it apparently has done pretty well on Funimation. It was received well by people. There was nothing about it that appealed to me, just like the very premise of it. Um, Love Live Superstar, I did not watch because I am not much for idol shows. I have not watched a single anything to do with Love Live. I have nothing. It does not interest me, but um, maybe it'll be something for you. Magica record. Yeah, Madoka Magica. This is a side story. I did not watch this. Um, I am not a. I think that Madoka Magica is important. I think the original series is important, but there have been so many. Let's also do our dark, sad, fucked up magical girl show. I think there's so many shows that have done that since that I don't really care about side stories of it, and I don't care about particularly about revisiting it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. This is the second season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Um, oh, what can I say about this? I was disappointed. And I know that I'm the odd man out about this because I know people that have been thrilled by the second season. But I wasn't. I think the flashback stuff, the backstory, especially between Toru and Elma, was good. I think the introduction and the focus on a new character is bad. Uh, what's her goddamn name? Elu. Uh, I think she's a shitty character and she brings the show's quality down. I think episodes that focus on her are bad. And uh, there are too many. To like the show is either to be okay with or to do your best to overlook its inherent bad, horny elements. And again, I've said this a dozen times. I will say it again. I am not opposed to anime that is horny, just as I'm not opposed to any media that is horny. Be horny if you want to be horny. But there is a difference between Toru, the dragon, being interested in marrying or having the children of or being with Kobayashi is far different than the dragon that keeps hitting her boobs into a young boy's face or the young girl that is infatuated with the young dragon, and they are very young, and that is weird in the show. And then you add in this other girl that is like basically a child in a teen's body, but is also a dragon, and he is overtly un that is this kind of like weird sexuality that is like titillating because it's funny to be that, but is unaware. Uh, and it's just like, I don't need any of this. I think the first episode is kind of fun where Toru becomes a maid at a maid cafe, and she starts working in the kitchen. And I think that actually is like a fun episode. But as the episodes continued, I was just liking this less and less. And again, I understand I am the odd person out when it comes to this show. And there are many people that are like, I'm so happy this was back and this was better than the first season. And that is not my opinion. But if it's yours, hell yeah, enjoy it. Um, I did not watch Mother of the Goddesses Dormitory. Uh, Again, nothing wrong with a horny anime. If you want to watch a horny anime, go for it. Watch a horny anime. A young boy ends up becoming the what you call the den mother of a dorm at a women's college. So college age girls, young boy. Hijinks? Question mark? Question mark? Raised eyebrow? Question mark? I just knew I wasn't gonna watch it. It's also 10 episodes, which I always, when a show is only, a show when it's 12 or 13, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. When it's 10, I'm always just like, why did you make it then? It just always seems weird to me. I don't know. My next Life as a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom X, the second season of My Next Life as a Villainous. There will be a third season coming, and a movie. I believe next. No, maybe not a movie. I'm getting confused, but there's more of it coming. My Next Life as a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom X is the case for maybe you don't have to keep making anime even though you have light novels and manga to reference. There is a case for that because the first season, the plot fit very well. It just fit. You could tell the story. The second season doesn't really have like a big arc. It has a bunch of mini arcs because a monthly manga is different from a season of anime. Unless you are building a manga to be an anime, and not everybody does that. So you're like, so it's a thing where it's like, okay, it felt like there were just a bunch of random things that happened, and then there was like, here's a little plot, and now it's over. And now here's some more random things that happen, and then there was like, here's a big plot, and the drama suddenly spiked, and the danger suddenly spiked, and it seemed out of nowhere. And they're like, okay, here's a wrap up, and here's the premise of the third season, which is coming. So I love these characters. I loved seeing more of them. I think my recommendation would be watch this in a marathon format. Watch a bunch of these. I wish I hadn't watched this weekly because I was always just like, but if I'd watched it in chunks, like 5 episodes at a time, I think I would have been much more interested in the show. Also, there's a new character, Sora, who's not even in this that I think sucks, and he got redeemed way too fast. I did not watch Nighthead 2041. Somebody tried to tell me that it's based on a good property, and I am being rude by not giving it a try. This was a stranger on the internet, so it doesn't matter that they said that. But it did make me laugh because I was making fun of the name because it does have indeed the best worst name for an anime of the season. Nighthead 2041. What does it mean? I don't know. It's two brothers with psychic powers being chased by two other brothers. It is pretty goddamn awful CGI. The animation in this is very bad. Is it X-Arm bad? No, because the characters' mouths move. And there aren't random 2D sprites thrown in here and there. So it's not that bad. because X Arm is still the worst show this season, and it came out in the beginning of the year. But this just not did not seem good, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch this. Um, if a show does not have any clips of it on Crunchyroll's Collections YouTube channel, that is a good indication that one, the studio that made it did not make any deals where Crunchyroll would promote it, or two, Crunchyroll thinks it's bad. Um, it's not an original. If it's an original, even if it's bad, they will put a clip or two up. But like, if you look for like the worst Crunchyroll shows, like the most poorly received Crunchyroll shows, you will also not find clips of those on their YouTube channel. That is a fairly good way to find out what they think of a particular show. Um, so like To Your Eternity had a bunch of clips because it was really good and really compelling. Um, Fena, they've had a bunch of clips because they're really pushing Fena. This, zero clips. Um, that's not true about every show, but like a lot of them. Um, Peach Boy Riverside. Oh boy. There's a core conceit of this that would mean that I'm not interested, which is okay. So the legend of the Peach Boy is that this old couple, good people, good stock. They never had children. They've gone on in age. They're lonely. They have each other, but they're lonely. A giant, not huge, but a large peach comes down on the river. And the wife is like, oh, I'll take this. It's huge. And she goes to cut into it. And she hears a voice saying, please don't kill me. And there's a baby inside the peach. And he grows up and he's like the son they never had. And it's beautiful. And he's a good boy. And one day he says, I have to go. People need my help. And he goes and he kills ogres. He kills these ogres. They're invading. In some stories, he goes and rescues them, rescues people who've been kidnapped by these ogres. He goes to their base and slaughters them. In other places, he just travels and he just defends people, and it's this fable. And there are a couple versions of it out there that aren't super popular, where he is he's killing these ogres because he really wants to. Not from a dedication, but because he's broken. And so this show, Peach Boy Riverside, supposes that the Peach Boy is actually an ogre who was raised by a human, and so he hates ogres, but he has the power to kill them because he's also an ogre. And also, for some reason, the main girl in the show is also a Peach Boy, but not an ogre. And when she murders, she gets like death eyes, and it's not good. The I will say that in the center you can see a bunny girl, and the bunny girl is great. She's very, very good. Um, the idea that is the way that they do this werefolk thing is that she's a big puffball with big ears. Is very, very good. I think that's great. And there might be a message in there that like our main character is like with all these different races. It doesn't have an issue with any of them, and that's pretty cool. That you might be able to extract that, but mostly this is just a show about murderers who really love to murder. And I didn't think it was good. Uh, I did try it though. Uh, I did not watch Pretty All Friends Selection. If you did enjoy it, I hope you liked it a lot. Um, Remain, I did not watch. Uh, I wanted to find out. Once I found out that it was a car accident, that's a terrible thing to say. Okay, so early previews of this, the information, because it's an original series, it wasn't clear what happened to him that caused him to leave the sport that he was in, which was polo, and now he's coming back as an expert trying to make people uh, interested in playing. It's a car accident. That's less interesting to me than uh, that he was in a coma than like some other thing. Oh, he's in a coma from a car accident. He wakes up, he's got to go back because they were like a tragic event happened. And I'm not saying that being in a car accident and getting a coma isn't a big deal, but I don't know. I didn't watch this. I'm Mappa. Here's a weird thing. Mappa put out 2 shows this season, and I didn't like either of them. I only watched one and didn't want to watch the other, and that's weird. Uh, it felt like they did 2 B tiers. I'll talk about the other one when we get there. But yeah, Super wasn't gonna give this a go. Remake Our Life, one of my favorite shows this season. Uh, um, we'll be finishing up at the time of this recording. Has not finished its 12th episode because they took a week. They took a week to do like a recap episode, so it's a little behind. What an incredible story! I love it so much. Basically, dude has a regret. He wishes that he'd gone to performing arts school, visual arts and performing arts. He wished he had gone. That was his big regret. He could have gone. He went the safe route. The safe route led to him having all these problems. And then he does go because he went back 10 years into the past and has his memories. And it's him helping people and supporting people. And uh, he's working with what's called the Platinum Generation. It was these 3 people that went to the school that would go on to do incredible things, a musician, and an artist, and a writer. And those people comforted him when he was down in the future. And now he gets to work with them. And he starts finding out who they are in the process of this. And there's a love story developing, maybe, and definitely, possibly. And he's finding that the skills he had by like being a good manager, because here's the deal. Maybe he's not as talented as they are by any means, but he's a 18-year-old in their world who's also a 28-year-old who's been in business and been in production and worked on things. And so he's a very responsible 18-year-old and a good producer. And things don't go as well as they you imagine. And there's more to the time travel. There's not a lot more to the time travel, but there is some more. There is some stuff. There were some big fucking reveals that I will not spoil here, but there was a thing where I was like, what's up with that character? And then I found out and I went, wait, what's up? Wait, what? Also, uh, there's a karaoke scene where the main character sings a song that she would have liked as a child that is an anime theme song, and they licensed the anime theme song for use in karaoke, and that's bizarre. And then she's a singer, so she would be doing covers of songs that were popular in that year that they are, 2006. So she sings a song for Melancholy of Haruki, a song, like an insert song from that show that would have been very popular because she's doing covers on a Japanese cover site. So you would do anime songs, and they do that song, and that's great. Like, yeah, this 18-year-old girl would have fond memories of the opening song to Rurouni Kenshin, and that would be a go-to karaoke song for her. Yes, of course it would. That's so good. It's so good that they do that. It's a great show. I highly recommend it. It is the fact that there are college kids being horny. I'm totally okay with, because I think like that makes a lot of. It would be weird if they weren't. Um, this show is definitely like. I mean, look at the photo here. You watch the opening, like it's very much just like, hey, we drew attractive girls in this. There are attractive young ladies in this show. Like that is not afraid of that. So that's maybe beware, but I really like it. I can't wait for the last episode. Um, Scarlet Nexus. I think I'd rather play this as a video game, and I haven't. Um, because all of the so if you follow along, if you listen to podcasts, video game podcasts, you may remember people being pretty goddamn excited about Scarlet Nexus, the video game, and how much of an anime-ass anime video game it was. Well, everything that makes that a good video game about how anime it is in this anime, but that doesn't it's just generic. a video game that is very anime is still a take on a video game by making it very anime, but those elements don't necessarily make for a good, compelling anime. It's pretty fucking boring and generic. I stopped watching it. I think like episode like 4 maybe, and it's just like all the cliches of like, oh, they're called the others, and it's the other suppression force, and oh, is this, hey, weird, is this shadowy militaristic group maybe the bad guys? Weird. And in a video game where you're jumping focuses and you've got all these cool mechanics and stuff like that, you can overlook some of it. But if you're just watching it like I am, you are like, at least I was like, meh, I'm okay. Um, Siri Kinsoki Spirit Chronicles wrapped up this week. I don't know if we're getting a second season of this. They opened it up. There's a big element where they were like, there could be more of this. I'm gonna read this manga. So I don't want to get too deep into this isekai, but I will tell you that this isekai does the thing of being a reincarnation story where it is important to know more about the person who is living that life in this fantasy world, and a little less about the guy that, or in this case, the guy that died in our world. So generally, in reincarnation stories, if you aren't born with all your memories, you were just born and you're going about your life, and then at some point you suddenly have those memories from the other life, and you basically, like in this case, Haruto, the Japanese guy who dies in an accident, is reborn, reincarnated as his character Ryo in this fantasy world, who has a really harsh life. So in some anime, some isekai, Haruto would become the dominant personality, have his memories of Ryo, and be like, okay, well, I'm a Japanese dude living in this world. I now have a basic knowledge. Let's go out. Or he would be born as Ryo, or he'd be born in Ryo's body, but he'd be Haruto the whole time. This show doesn't do that. Ryo is Ryo. Ryo has memories of Haruto. He has visions of Japan. He has the martial arts training that Haruto had embedded in his memories and in his hands. He can fight better now because Haruto had harsh training. It is it's interesting. That's really interesting. Also, this is a harem-ish thing where he meets ladies as he goes. But they don't stick with him. He basically is just like, there's like a village with a bunch of them, and he'll like come back there. There's like a prince, not a princess, but like someone of high standing that he's like, see you later, and then he does. And then there's like a relative of his in like another country, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna come back someday, but not right now. And a girl there that is definitely interested in him, and he's like, I can't with that. I gotta go do stuff. So it's not like a big party, a big collection. Most of the show, he's only with like one person at the most at any time. And I think that's refreshing because it doesn't make sense to have like this big party going through when he's doing like dirt. Because like, first of all, Ryo has a mission of his. He's at exploration. He's got to figure a thing out, and he's also got a bunch of like complications that arise because of that personal mission. He's got a lot on his plate. And then I don't want to say what happens in episode 12, but they open the door for another season by making a fucking huge revelation, a big revelation. Also, episode 12 has one of the best fight scenes of the series, because this series actually it has fighting in it, but doesn't have like as much as I would have expected. It has a lot of time dashes, a lot of like, well, 2 years later, we're doing this now. It's like, okay. I liked it. I think it was good. Sunny Boy. Here's another show that will be airing its last episode very soon at the time of this recording. That people were like, this rules. And I was like, no, thank you. I think Madhouse does incredible work. I think the art of this looks great. But I don't want to see a battle royale in a weird psychological dimension. Just the premise of it. And maybe it's not really battle royale, but it is a classroom of students end up in this weird world and have to figure out the rules to it and how to survive in it. And I I didn't want to watch it. I just didn't want to watch it. Um, I hope people enjoy it. I hope people really liked it. But yeah, I think it looks cool. But psychological is just not a like style of anime that I'm super into, and so I was just like, I think I'm good. Um, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season two, part two. Okay, so that's a lot to say. Basically, like 2 seasons of anime ago, so winter 2020, the first half of that time I got reincarnated as a slime came out. Then in the spring season, there was another little show that happened, and now in the fall, we got the second half. Um, the second half of this second season is great, top to bottom, because the first half is like weird because they way they structured the first half or the first season. This season had to like start before events happened and like do a bunch of things that led up to then the big conflict, which was an attack on the city. This second half had awesome moments, really cool fight scenes, some real sadness, characters just being awesome. You can see this photo here. There's a gentleman with a shirt, but he's got gloves and he's got a cape and no shirt, and that's Veldora. He is one of the strongest dragons to ever exist, but now he is in the body in a prepared body of a man because he's read a lot of manga, and he's really into action in the manga. So he throws Hadoken at one point. He yells Hadoken and shoots a fireball. Uh, he does a Kamehameha. It's great. It's really great. I love him to death. I love Veldora. I love Big Brother Veldora. There's some great stuff in this. Also, I want to say, uh, Mindrin, who is the the singer for this season's song. First of all, you should listen to Like Flames because it feels like a song that anime music videos would use in the mid 2000s. But it's a song that came out this year. But she is a Thai singer. And this is her second anime song. It's her first opener. She did the closing theme to By the Grace of the Gods. So this is her first one. This is a big, like, cool, like, song that you could say. And like I said, she's Thai, but she became well known because she's a cover artist. She's a YouTuber. She did anime covers and she would sing it in Japanese and she would sing it in English. She would translate it into Thai. She's had like other Thai people like work with her. She's done like music videos. She's an internet success story because she's gone from I cover songs and she still does covers to I'm now doing anime themes. And I just fucking I don't know. I get like oh as a weirdo who makes things on the internet, um, it makes me really happy that somebody who dedicated a lot of time and energy to making things on the internet has succeeded as much that she's like gotten to this point. I just think that's incredible, and I really dig the song. I think the song is worth checking out. Nathan has some thoughts on That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime season 2 part 2, so I'll read those here. I'm so glad I waited until the second half started before starting the second season. Yes, since it was split up into two with a break, it just was getting like really dramatic when they ended, which you want. And now that's cool. You got to experience all that, especially because the first half of the first season is a little slice of lifey. Whereas then it becomes uh, overall, this show has moved from a kind of like a bit of a parody or a take on isekai into just a straight up isekai. At this point, it is now just a very good isekai. Instead of being like, hey, but what if it was a slime? Now it's like, yeah, it's a slime. Veldora is such a himbo. I love him. I love Veldora. He's so great, especially in the last couple episodes. He's so fun and such a good support character. So great. Anyway, overall, I think That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, season 2, part 2. I would watch both parts of that. I recommend it. It's a great show. The Aquatope on White Sand. We're halfway through this, so I don't want to get too far into it because it is a double length, and I'm so glad it is because it is a slow, patient, lovely series. This is the closest thing we got to four girls being into a thing, the anime, which we don't have that. We don't have that. So instead, we just have a girl that really fucking cares about an aquarium and a girl that has given up on her dream, and she's supplanting that by being like, well, let me support your dream. Um, it's got this element to it because PA Works does a beautiful job. It's really lovely. The characters are great. Um, the art, I think, is phenomenal, especially in moments where it's got that like magical realism thing going there, where it's Japan and it's modern Japan, but like, hey, is that like a water spirit hanging out and is there a moment where it feels like characters are inside the water in the aquarium? What's going? Like, there's moments where you're like, "Hey, what the fuck's happening right now? Who's that? What's going on?" So it's got that little bit of like the magic elements to it, but it's not like a sci-fi show or a. It's because it's got the supernatural tag, and I think that's apt. But it's mostly just like, the ocean is magical, nature. Am I right? Like it's that kind of thing. But mostly just like just really pretty and kind of beautiful and funny and fun. There's a little kid character I don't care for, but whatever. She's not in it that much. Uh, PA Works uh, does original stuff so well. Their originals are so good. Um, I think this show is being slept on, and that's a shame. And I hope that since it's double length, more people will check it out. Uh, I have heard good things about Case Study of Vanitas. I did not enjoy the first episode, and I stopped watching it. Maybe I will check out more of it. I can't tell you I will. The Detective is Already Dead is a show I know I will not watch. And it's one of those shows where it's not its fault that I think the premise is bad, and I have a premise that I would rather see. So here's the premise that is laid out. There's this dude, right? And he becomes the um like assistant. He's like a high school dude. He's now the assistant to the world's greatest detective. And then she dies. And he has to continue living. And he's had these incredible adventures. And now he's going to go back to school like that didn't happen or because it did. And that sounds like a fucking cool ass premise for a show. But that isn't the show because there's magic and science and nonsense and is she dead and who's this other girl and uh Jazzu says that sounds like a sad time. Yes. I think a cool, interesting drama, like a sad slice of life, because slice of lives don't have to be lightweight. They don't have to be cute and wholesome. Slice of lives can be dramas. But the idea of maybe the Detective is Already Dead being about a dude that had these amazing things and now has to like, or adventures and now has to like go back to being normal and what does normal mean? I think that could be really fascinating. But there's all this sci-fi bullshit in it. And yeah, I watched 2 episodes and did not enjoy them. And I don't think I'm going to continue. I don't think I'll go back to it. This was another one of those shows where if a friend of mine was like, this is my favorite show this season, I would have given it a shot. But that did not happen, so I didn't. This is a show that I'm giving a shot because I have a friend who loves this show very, very much. The Duke of Death and his Maid. I'm trying so hard to like this show, and I do not. A big reason why I don't is there's 2 reasons why I don't. Uh, I don't particularly enjoy shows where the premise is one character is pushing another outside of their comfort zone in order to have them experience more things. In this particular case, this dude is cursed, and a maid will not let him go. And like kind of taunts him in the fact that, like, teasing him the fact that he can't touch her, uh, and is this kind of like element, like that element I don't love. I just don't love it as a premise. You might be into it. That might my description might be like, ooh, that sounds fun. Ooh, I like that. Like that she's just like poking at him, like metaphorically. Uh, ooh, that sounds great. To me, I'm just like, I'm not interested in that. And the other part of it is I don't like the how it's animated at all. I do not like the art style. I did not enjoy watching this the episode that I watched of this. Um, so I will not go back to it. But if you were like, that sounds great, I think you might like it. Um, the Dungeon of Black Company is an isekai about a dude that gets summoned to a another world. He has lived a life of luxury, and now he has to work in a mine, basically, like in this case, like considered like a black company. He doesn't want to do that. Um, Silverlink does great work. I don't particularly enjoy this show. I didn't hate it. There's a dragon that you can't really see. Well, you can see her. Um, there's a dragon character that she's like right over here who is just like very cute and it's very fun. Um, you have to be okay with a show where the main character is like you like him despite everything about him because he sucks. He sucks as a dude. He's it's reasonable that he's unhappy. It's totally within reason that he is miserable about his experience. But I think he sucks as a dude, like he's supposed to. Um, and I liked a lot of the characters, but I didn't love it. Um, if you really liked Konosuba and you like that kind of isekai, this might be up your alley because it doesn't take itself seriously. I just it fell flat for me. Um, the Great Jaw Will Not Be Defeated is still airing. They're doing 20 episodes. It started like midway through this season. It is very cute, and I constantly feel bad for Jai, Great Jai. Um, she's like just so sad. She's trying her best. It is similar in some ways to um, uh, The Devil is a Part Timer, in that it is she's not Mao. She's not the Demon Lord. She is the second in command, and she is without any power in Earth and just struggling to make rent, struggling to feed herself, struggling to have power. She gets run-ins with a bunch of characters that want to do her harm and people that she mistreated by the very nature of her job are doing better than her, and she's in a bad way, and it's very cute, and you want her to succeed so bad, but you know she won't because it's a comedy, so she's got to keep failing. It's got some fun moments, but overall, I don't know. I think you'd be okay, Pat, if if this didn't appeal to you. Don't force yourself, but I like it. I think it's cute. I'll keep watching it. Um, so, The Honor at Magic High School. In order to watch The Honor at Magic High School, one, you probably need to watch the first season of The Irregular at Magic High School. I felt so bad for Jai to watch this. Yes, you felt too bad, Nathan. Yes, Nathan, I think that's reasonable to be like, I just, I want her to be happy, even if she was bad. She doesn't deserve this. Anyway, The Honor at Magic High School. So the regular Magic High School is about this guy Tatsuya. He's incredible. He's got a sister, Miyuki. This is basically the events of the first season from her point of view, with other events that we didn't see peppered throughout. So I don't know if this works outside of being a companion piece. Also, the fundamental flaw with The Honor at Magic High School continues to be the flaw with The Irregular at Magic High School. The thing that people can't get past, and it's understandable and reasonable they can't get past, is how much the two main characters are in love with each other, and they are blood related. They're not even like, oh, that's your distant cousin that lived with us thing, which is what a lot of shows try to do. No, that's not it. These characters are in love with each other, and it's creepy and fucking weird. And they didn't edit that out of the anime. This is a manga adaptation, and they don't. The second season of Irregular doesn't shy away from that. In fact, the second season introduces another pair of siblings that are also too into each other, and it's like, what the fuck, anime? Um, Also, if your favorite part of the regular Magic School is how OP Tatsuya is, um, Mayuki's strong, but it's not the same. So I didn't finish watching this because the 13th episode is airing soon, but I'm like 5, 6 episodes in, and I was just like, nah, can't do it. Just can't do it. I managed to get through the first season. I struggled with the second season. It's just fucking creepy in a and characters are also like, hey, what's up with that? What's going on? No, thank you. The Ideten deities know only peace. Can you believe that there's a beautiful looking Mappa show that no one is talking about? Nobody, no, I should. Nobody is in air quotes. That's scare quotes on that, right? Nobody is talking about this. People are talking about this. Not a lot of people are talking about this. This is like a well-produced, good-looking Mappa show that is just kind of like whatever. The fight scenes are kind of good. It doesn't feel good to watch. I didn't enjoy the 3 episodes I watched. I for one do not believe in the 3 episode rule that you need to give a show 3 episodes before you can decide if it's good or not. You can give a show 5 minutes and you can quit that show, and that's fine. You could decide the episode 10 of 12 you're done with that show and you don't want to finish it, and you don't have to finish it just because you watched 10 episodes. I don't. To me, like, whatever. But yeah, I gave the show 3 episodes because I thought the second episode was like getting better. Um, I think it looks really good, and that's about it. If it wins like some animation awards, I would totally be fine with that. But um, I just finished up, at the time of this recording, just finished up the 12th episode of Tsukumichi Moonlit Fantasy, which is an isekai with a fun premise. What if you were summoned and the goddess that summoned you was like, ew, gross. Why are you so ugly? And she was like, I'm not giving you my blessing. Instead, I'm going to curse you. I'm going to make you so ugly and your energy so gross to humans because I don't want you mating with any of my precious humans. So I'm going to banish you to the edges of the world, and I hope you never run into a human. Well, he does. He meets a lady who is a dragon. He meets a spider who is a lady. Uh, Meets a bunch of, and guess what? Demons, monsters don't have a problem with him. Not demons. I should say, clarify, not demons, because demons are just look like humans. Monsters have no problem with what he's up to. Um, and he discovers some stuff. It's a weird thing where like a lot happens and then also nothing happens in it. It gets fucking bonkers towards the end. First off, content warning for like the second to last episode because it gets fucking real. Like it gets like what just happened? What happened to that character that I liked? Holy shit! Like I don't want to spoil, but like it got real, quote unquote real. And then uh, it ends. There's going to be another season. They announced there's going to be another season. It ends fucking strong. Like it ends like hell yeah. What's coming up here? What are we about to say? Like I think it's got like a strong like, hey, there's more to come. You'll like this. Uh, but yeah, overall, I dig it. I think it's got a fun sense of humor to it. I like that even though he's like banished, he still wants to walk the path of an adventure. Like he's like, I'm in this world. I want to like do quests and join a guild and open up a store and like do all this stuff. I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. It wasn't my favorite isekai this season, but it was good. There were a lot of isekai this season. So, Suki Pro, the animation too. I didn't watch the first season. Um, I don't know. I do think that uh, it looks like they stopped airing it, and it's going to pick back up because some of the staff got COVID, and that's awful. I'll say that that's awful. It's on High Dive. Okay, so you can watch it on High Dive and Verve. I don't know anything about it. It's a music show with pretty gentlemen. If that's up your alley, then maybe check it out. Um, I watched every episode of I Tsushima. They're 2 minute episodes. All 12 episodes are available on YouTube. You can watch them the closed caption button, and you can see the English. They're all legally available. So much is on YouTube. This is all legally available on YouTube. Totally worth your time. It's cute. It's a talking cat. The art looks like this, like the photo you're seeing there, for all the cats, but the humans are weird blobs. It's very, very strange. I think it's really cute. Also, there is web animation, so there's more of it, so you can watch that too. I think that's the only short I watched, so I'm not even going to talk about these things. A lot of these are not available. Some of them are like, you can watch these on YouTube. A bunch of these shorts rarely make it here to overseas. Although, Theater of Darkness, that is an exception. That did make it here. I didn't watch Bakugan. I didn't watch Blue Reflection Ray. Didn't watch that. Dinosaur Priori is not available here. I would watch that because that is just three dinosaurs hanging out, like three it's a kid show about dinosaurs. I would watch that. Eden Zero. Again, two more episodes left of Eden Zero, so it's not over yet. Um, hey, do you want to see some characters that look awful similar to Fairy Tail, the anime Fairy Tail, but in space? Then you should watch Eden Zero. If you don't want to watch that, you don't have to watch Eden Zero. It's weird. It's really weird. It's really, really weird that there are characters you're just like, that's Ezra. What? No, that's not. Okay. Okay. That's Happy, right? Yeah, that's true. Yes, but in this one, Happy is an android. See, in this one, Happy is a robot and not a cat. So it's different. I need you to understand that in this one, Happy, the cat, is a robot and not a cat from a different dimension like he was in Fairy Tail. That says, I refuse to understand. Cat is cat. Fair. That is a fair statement. Cat is indeed cat. Um, it's so weird. Like, and there'll be other characters that appear like in the background, like Plu, the dog. Is like there are a bunch of Plu around. Plu was in Fairy Tail. Also, Plu was in Rave Master, which is the other series that this creator has done. It's weird. It's very weird. It's kind of fun, but I'm nowhere near caught up on it. I kind of just watch it. I'm like into it. So season 5 of My Hero Academia fucking went places. This is a season. It's a double length or 25 episodes, right? So the first half is just like kids doing their thing. These characters doing their thing. Okay, we're gonna see them studying. Oh, some people got new gear and some new moves, and oh, we finally seeing more of Class 1B. Fuck yeah! And then it's like, okay, internship thing, cool. And then it's just like villains. It's just a villains arc. Um, it's doing the thing that tells you even more that the creator of this manga fucking loves American comics. It's true, certainly true of anime as well, but it feels very true of like superhero comics. Is that, hey, let's try to like maybe not redeem villains, but understand some villains. Because like maybe you want to care about this broken individual that has done some fucked up shit, but maybe you want to root for them. I don't want to go too into detail because I think it's worth watching. But maybe you want to root for this clear psychopath because aren't they better than the other villains? Are they better than the other villains? Is this because you know them a bit longer? It's interesting. I don't know if it's fully successful, but it's definitely fucking way more interesting than just being like more like a shonen about kids at a hero school. Also, Deku is, yes, as Nathan says, Deku is indeed becoming Spider-Man. Deku, because a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, well, All Might is like Superman, so Deku's just becoming like a little Superman. It's just like, no. Deku's becoming fucking Spider-Man, and it honestly kicks ass. Like, this was the biggest, like, spoiler that I had. Like, there's two big spoilers. I'm not going to talk about the other one, because first of all, the other one that's a manga spoiler for the anime, people fucking know about it. I'm not going to say. People guessed it years ago. But this one, where it was like, Deku's getting another power, that was a thing that, like, people, like, I knew about, but I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And it was. It was very good. Shaman King, I love that Shaman King is going to be 52 episodes. They're going to tell the fucking story of Shaman King. The fact that there is a 2021 adaptation of Shaman King that is going to tell the whole fucking story is bonkers. There is a character that rides a snowboard because that was fucking cool. The idea of a character in a fighting anime, a fighting tournament anime, whose weapon was a snowboard was fucking radical in the late 90s. That was cool as shit. In 2021, it's hilarious that this dude rides a snowboard around because he makes ice, so why not ride a snowboard? That is goofy as heck. This anime feels so outdated. Hello, Dr. Jones, indeed. This anime feels very outdated. I haven't watched the whole thing. I'm not up to episode 24. I think I'm like 15 or 16 episodes in. But Shaman King is back, y'all, and I don't know why it is, and I kind of love that it is. To Your Eternity is a show that I did not finish because I am not emotionally ready for that show. I must tell you, I must tell you, you cannot go into this show with emotional attachments. Or you have to be ready to say goodbye to characters. Because this show is a continuous punch in the gut. It will punch you in the gut till you cry. And then when you stop, then it will stop. And you will forget that you have been punched in the gut. Just so it can punch you in the gut again. This show, I would describe To Your Eternity as devastating. And to a certain person out there, type of people out there, you fucking can't wait for that shit. You've watched it, or you're like, To Your Eternity. Okay, well, all the episodes are out, so I can just do, I can just go on Crunchyroll and watch ads, or I'll get premium for like a month so I can watch all that. Like, you're making plans to watch this if that is your style. But for me, no thank you. No thank you. It is a beautiful show that I will never see. Tokyo Revengers fucking kicks so much ass. Holy shit. It's our other time travel anime. This season is leftovers from the previous season because it was 24 episodes, which we didn't know we were getting at the time. Basically, the episode 12 happened and it was just like, oh, we're gonna keep going? Hell yeah. Dude goes back in time to make things right. But here's the thing about this dude, our main dude, Tsukumichi. Just the knowledge of what happens in the future can't help you when you are a punk ass middle schooler with no strength. Yes. This show goes places, but yeah. dude just like never made anything of his life, has a shitty job, shitty life, finds out the only girlfriend he had, who he had in middle school, she died. And then he's back in time. That he then he fucking gets pushed and dies, but he wakes up back in time. And it's a loop. He can go back and see what's changed, but he's not strong. He's just and he's also not smart. He is an emotional dummy. Uh and he is like trying his fucking best. And I will say, there's some fucking kick-ass characters in the show. There are some ruthless motherfuckers in the show. The fight scenes are really fucking well done. Yeah, yeah, as Nathan says, Revengers rules. It's also called Tokyo Revengers. It's a great goddamn name. It's A+ show, um, and it is so fucking good, and like big reveals, and it's not as straightforward as it seems. And look, there's a different kind of fantasy time travel thing where he goes back in time and uses his knowledge and like trains himself to be strong and takes over the gangs. That is not this show. He is not taking over anything. He is doing his best. It's A+. Also A+ is Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 2. It was a 21 episode, so like a double length. Season 3 has been announced. Fuck yeah, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. Oh yes, the fact that Takemichi's a crybaby. Yes, it works for him. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 2. It's a comedy. It's a double-length comedy show. It is an isekai. He is a human who has been sent to the nether world, and so that he can be one of the strongest demons' grandson, because the other two strongest demons have grandkids, and Sullivan's like, I wish I had a grandson. So I'm going to buy one. And hey, you got to go to school, so go to this academy. You're the only human there. Don't let anybody know you're human. And then hijinks ensue, uh, and heartwarming stuff. And there's the character that is not in. Oh, you can't see her. She's in the bottom, so you can't really see her. Clara is one of the best characters I've seen in years. She is just a well-meaning nightmare monster. Wonderful. There's like really great characters in the show. Um, there's like the plot that's going on. I think it's solid. The second season takes a little while to get good, and then it fucking gets great. But the first part of the second season, I didn't love. I didn't love the. So they do a thing where they take him out of his comfort zone to tell a different story than they're telling. So he's removed from his best friends, and their dynamic is one of my favorite parts of the show. So I didn't like that. I'm like, you don't separate Iruma, Alice, and Clara. Like that's your core. So to separate them, I was like, I don't love that choice. Um, but yeah, it is. Also, he's got a magic ring that starts talking, and no one believes him because that's not a thing that happens. But he's made it happen. It's pretty good. Oh, this guy sucks. Aronovo. He, yeah. Um, I didn't watch any movies. We'll go through real quick because I really because it's been like an hour and a half, and I want to get into the preview of next season. So, if something stands out to me, I'll talk about it. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's a legal way for me to watch this Recognizant G movie. If there is, let me know. So I haven't seen it. Uh, I watched the theatrical edition of Kashigoto. It's on Funimation. There are some new scenes. I would not say you should watch this instead of watching Kakashigoto, one of my fucking top favorite anime of last year. If you want a slice of life that is a comedy that is also a drama that has high moments of beautiful, sad drama, and this weird foreboding energy around the beautiful, silly comedy, this show is incredible. Um, But the theatrical edition is pretty fun. It does have a few new scenes and some different perspectives of stuff we already saw. And I think if you're a completionist, it's worth the watch. I think that's. I didn't watch Kinrio Mosaic. Uh, I did. I haven't seen World Heroes Mission. I still haven't seen it. I need to, but I haven't seen it. Their stealth suits are fucking dope as hell. Uh, didn't watch that. That this looks this looks like a Dreamcast game. Holy shit, that looks like a Dreamcast game. What the fuck? Holy shit. This looks like Shenmue. Jesus Christ. Uh, didn't watch any of that. Uh, oh, they made another. Oh, it's a completely new story by the original author. That's kind of fun. I feel like Seven Deadly Sins. Uh, I do want to watch Tomorrow's Leaves, and I haven't, because it sounds pretty neat. Uh, Cloverworks made a thing based on a video game. That makes sense. Um, OVAs. I'll get through this real quick. I think there's only like two I want to talk about. Uh, I Tsushima, they made an ONA. That's extra stuff, like I said. Isekai Cheat Magician. It's the 13th episode. It's available on Crunchyroll if you really liked Isekai Cheat Magician, which I don't know anyone who. I mean, I watched it. It's a boilerplate Isekai, but they made a 13th episode, which is like an OVA, and it's on Crunchyroll, so you can legally watch it. It's kind of touching. It's actually a sweet little story. Um, but it aired, yeah, with a rebroadcast. Uh, Megan Dragon. Yep. Okay. Uh, I have not seen these. I don't think they showed up on Crunchyroll or Funimation. But I do want to watch them because I like the original series, so I might check those out. Uh, didn't watch that. Didn't watch that. Uh, if you're really into Saga of Tanya the Evil, there is an OVA that came out. I do not particularly enjoy it, so I did not seek that out. Definitely didn't watch that. This is worth your time. If you watched Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, a show that I did not put on my top 10 list last year because I didn't watch it because I was not in the mood for it, but I watched it later and it's real good. Um, this OVA is fucking fantastic. It is on Crunchyroll. You can watch it on Crunchyroll. It is totally worth checking out. If you like that first season, you'll like this. It's just more cute. It's more good. Um, this was the Wonder Egg episode that Wonder Egg ended without an ending. And they were like, we're going to make this right. We're going to put a long extra episode out that's going to fix it. It didn't. This didn't fix it. Wonder Egg is a excellent premise and good few episodes that falls on its face by the end. Um, didn't see this. I don't know if this is available. I don't think this is, so I didn't watch that. Okay, so that's all the stuff that came out. Except, and now we're going to talk about what's to come. The fall season. I'm going to quickly let's do next episode airing. Okay, so fall season is going to officially start in about a week and change. So now we'll sort by title. We're just going to go alphabetical order. I'll just kind of go through this stuff, talk about the stuff that I'm excited about, and if you have any thoughts, if you're like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to watch that, or I know all about that anime based on the sequel to a visual novel, which is a real thing we'll get to. I did not like 86, so I'm not going to watch the second season, which is actually not the second season, really. It's actually like this continuation of the first season. I didn't like it, so I'm not going to keep watching. I'm certainly not going to watch this. I'll say this. This season is isekais and mecha. Those are the two big things this season. So I'm going to watch some mecha. That's not going to be this one. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. I am so excited about this. This is my romance. I love romance shows like this. This is not an isekai, even though the title as a light novel, you might think it is an isekai. It is not. It is a fantasy show. Um, I have read the manga. I am thinking about getting the light novel. Uh, so it's a little hard to describe a little read, but basically, our main dude, um, he's been with the hero for a very long time, and the way it works is the hero is going to have all these skills and have all this talent and not know how to do anything. So the hero is, when they're a child or young, they could get in over their head. Like they're going to grow and grow and grow, but they start off not knowing what to do. So there are people who have high level right away so they can keep the hero alive. And Red is one of those people. Um, but the trade-off is he starts strong so he can be big support and keep people alive, but they're going to have tremendous growth and he's going to stop. So he's stopped. So he gets kicked out of the party. And he's like, well, then I'm going to open up a drugstore on the edge of like in the countryside. I'm just going to retire. I'm going to get away from things. I'm going to go there and just retire. And then pretty quickly, somebody that he partied with for a little while, she was only temporarily part of the party. And she was like going through a rebellious phase. She's a rebellious teen. She shows up and she's like, I want to work here. I want to, you mean a lot to me. You might not think of it, but you helped me a lot. And you were a pivotal part of my life growing up and figuring out what I want to do with my life. So now I want to be here with you. And it's a romance. And I'm wondering if the anime is going to uh, kind of like the hero. You can see this girl on the top there. She's going through some stuff. She's kind of fucked up, and I don't know if the anime is going to explore that or not. But it's not a pure slice of life romance. It's not purely that. There's still action in it, and I'm wondering how much of like there's conflict. There's shit going down. I don't know what we're going to see in the show if they're going to pull that back like they did for Kuma Kuma Kumber and what they did for By the Grace of the Gods. By the Grace of the Gods is actually very violent, but you wouldn't know that in the anime. Um, so I don't know if they're going to do that or not. But this is an anticipated show. I'm actually going to put a plus there. I'm going to put that I'm going to be watching it. This is highly anticipated. This is one of my things I most anticipated this season to check out. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Very excited about it. Black Lotus, Blade Runner, okay. Not really interested in that. Build Divide, Code Black. Do you see what they did there where they put the hashtag 00, which is black? I'm going to assume this is based on a video game from a country, from like a country who is a mobile video game, from a country that doesn't export their mobile video games. That's just my assumption. This just in the city where kings reign, where the king reigns supreme. Your strength in build divide determines everything. Anyone able to defeat the king in build divide shall be granted whatever their heart desires. Hey, why don't you say what the fuck build divide is? Into the rebuild battle. Build divide is the game. Watch as the battle unfolds for Tetsuro and his friends. What is build divide? One must first enter the battle known as rebuild. They have to complete the key. This sounds like fucking bullshit. Doesn't this sound like a mobile game? Like a free mobile game? It just sounds like complete shit. Card Fighter, not super interested in. Deep Insanity, The Lost Child, which is a sequel to Deep Insanity Nirvana. I don't know what that is. I don't think we're going to get it here in the US. But I do like the name Deep Insanity, The Lost Child. Who knows? Demon Slayer. We got more fucking Demon Slayer coming. More Demon Slayer coming, which is sequel to the movie because the movie is canon and actually an arc in the manga. So we're getting more Demon Slayer. No exact release date on there. Funimation might have gotten this one. This one might not be a Crunchyroll / Funimation anymore. This might just be a Funimation show. Now, that doesn't mean a lot considering the fact that at some point you won't need to have both a Crunchyroll and a Funimation. At some point, probably, definitely. But right now, that's still a big deal if you can't watch the second season. That's still a big deal. Digimon Ghost Game. I'm probably not gonna check that out. I will be watching in December. I will be watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. Uh, Fuck yeah, I'm excited about this shit. Jotaro's Daughter. This is yeah. Just love the idea. It's like it's Jotaro's daughter in jail. The show. Fucking so psyched about this shit. So psyched about it. I don't even want to talk more about it. It's David production. Happy with that, obviously. Uh oh, Crumination, Nathan. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but um Comey Can't Communicate. I will give this is a show that I will give probably an episode two. Um got a wallflower, and then he's got like a legendary character, the legendary girl in the school. The I need to make 100 friends premise, I don't particularly love in an anime. It's kind of boring to me. They're like, I'm going to make 100 friends. But I do like the idea of a dude that is pretty psyched that he's a weirdo, or he's pretty happy with who he is. Uh, and then there's a character that's just like, oh, you're also weird. I guess we're friends now. Like, I don't hate that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it. But I'll give it a shot. No announcement on who has that right now. It's probably Crunchyroll. I will also be checking out this mecha show, Kyuaki Senkai. It is Sunrise. I mean, it's a mecha show. Like, sure, I'll check that out. A boy who loves machines meets an AI named Guy. And then he's going to pilot this thing that he built himself. The mechs look cool. Sunrise is a little hit or miss with their non-Gundam, but I'll check it out. Lupin the Third, more Lupin. Megaton Q Musashi. This is the mecha show I probably won't watch, and it's because of the last line. The series will balance robot action with school life. That does not sound good to me. But the idea that they pilot machines that combine to form a giant robot, that does sound fucking cool. So maybe I will watch it. But I haven't seen I have to watch the trailer for it to see if the art is something that I'm into. I don't think we got a full trailer yet. But I'm not like super psyched about this one. Miruku-chan. So I don't dislike horror comedy, but I don't think I love the premise of this. The art right away turns me off. I'm not super into the art, but I love the idea of this girl can see monsters and ghosts, and she's just like, I'm gonna ignore it. Just gonna pretend that's not happening. I kind of like that. I feel like it might get old though. I feel like that whole premise might just be bad. So I don't know. I am gonna keep watching Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Uh, this is one of the grandfathers of the genre. We already had the first half of the season. We're getting the second half now. This is in many ways what we know of modern isekai is because of this. Sword Art Online popularized a lot of the like tropes, especially in the video game trapped. you can have your debate whether or not that's an isekai, um, since it's all VR, but whatever. Um, Jobless reincarnation, the idea of being reborn into a body and having your memories the whole time, uh, that was really popularized by this. The being hit by a truck, there were there before, but this also helped popularize that. A lot of, but the downside of this show is that it's old. The manga is old, so the things that are taken from it have now been adapted. Like, okay, well, you get your memory. The idea of like you get your memories later, so that you don't have to worry about being born as a child. Like that hasn't happened here yet. Or the idea that maybe your main character shouldn't be shitty, because that's the real part where it. Studio Bind does a fantastic job. The art in this is beautiful. The art around the magic is incredible. The backgrounds are gorgeous. It's a lovely experience. But the main character is a pervert and he sucks. Uh, and there's a period where they have a lot. They're dealing with a lot, like emotionally a lot, and so he sucks a lot less there. But then he sucks a lot again, and it's bad. It gets fucking gross. And then at the end, they're like, "Hey, remember that he's a pervert," and you're like, "I don't need to remember that." Um, so yeah, it's one of those shows where like I'm gonna watch it because a lot of the things, the subgenre that I enjoy, a lot of those tropes came from this. They weren't tropes for this, so I appreciate it. But also, it's hard to recommend. Um, I feel like this isn't gonna get picked up. I just feel like this. Um, he's a DJ named DJ. This is basically like fighting evil by dancing. I mean, it's got a character with a boombox. I feel like this is maybe this will get picked up, but I feel like it won't. Maybe it's really funny, but Mute King does not seem like something I will be watching. Move Love Alternative. How do I fucking talk about Move Love? Like it's a mecha show, so I should give it a shot. Here is my explanation of what Move Love Alternative is. Move Love is a visual novel with two parts. In the first part of Move Love, you are a dude and you have a childhood friend that loves you, and you don't really understand that. And then also, a girl just appears in your house one day. And so it is a visual novel. And you are trying to like pick a girl and you're romancing girls and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And there are different endings and all that. And also, it's an adult visual novel. It's horny as shit. And with adult themes and whatever, because it's a popular visual novel from that year, the early to mid 2000s. The second half of Move Love is, oh wow, the main character is it wakes up in an alternative reality, like a different dimension to where they were in the first one. There are mechs, and some of the characters are there, but they're different because it's in an alternate world that he stumbled into somehow, and it becomes a drama. The first one is very funny, and then it's a drama, and there's still scenes and whatever, dirty and whatever. Move Love Alternative is this follow-up visual novel where after finishing one of the true ending to Move Love, the second half, in Alternative, you wake up and you're reliving Move Love with the knowledge of what happened in it. And there's some differences and changes that happen because of the choices you make. Basically, it becomes a redo. It goes from the first game is a romantic comedy, adult comedy, that then becomes a sci-fi epic. And the second one is reliving the sci-fi epic. And this anime, as far as I can tell, is an adaptation of Move Love Alternative, but they haven't ever made an anime about Move Love. Also, there's a game and then also an anime called Schwartz something or other. I can't remember what it's called. that is based on and a spin-off of Muv-Luv Alternative that has an anime adaptation that's not good. But that came out, and then people were like, so they're making Muv-Luv Alternative, but they didn't make Muv-Luv. So why is it an alternative? And I want to watch this because I'm like, how does this work? How does this make sense? Will the character, the main guy, be like, I've already lived this once before? Or will he not? And it'll just be like the events. But that doesn't make any sense because Muv-Luv Alternative, the premise of Muv-Luv Alternative is that the guy is reliving these events and changing them. I don't understand why this anime got made and how they're going to do it. And I'm kind of psyched about that. Because also, this description doesn't say anything about that. This is all facts that I had to look up because a friend of mine was telling me about how Muv-Luv Alternative is the weirdest anime that's coming out this season because of all the backstory. Bonkers. Platinum End. I'm definitely not going to watch this shit. This sounds awful. If it's gay, maybe I'll take a look. Because it looks like it could be very gay. You know, and hey, am I saying that I'm interested in the show because it might be very gay? Yes, because we don't get enough of that. But all the other elements of it, the fact that it's a dude who's like gonna have to fight other humans and then become a god, I don't really care about that shit. Angels fighting to become a god, like I don't care about that. But these cute boys are into each other. We'll talk. Pride of Orange. I don't know anything about this. It is a TV anime that is part of the Pride of Orange mixed media project, which is about women's ice hockey. So here's the thing I'll tell you about that. The tiny little image here does a better job. This does not say to me that this is an anime about women's ice hockey. Also, it's a multimedia project, so we might see it. Somebody tell Jeff Bakalar there's going to be an anime about ice hockey. But don't tell him I told you to tell him, because I don't want to have to follow up with Bakalar about that. But yeah, there's going to be an anime about girls playing ice hockey. I'm sure someone's already said something. Ranking of Kings. I really like this manga. I'm afraid this anime is going to be bad because I don't know how you adapt this. How do you adapt a story about a deaf prince? This little boy that would just be loved if he wasn't a prince. If he wasn't a prince, it would be okay. And this weird person that's in a shadow. It's a weird story. It's kind of incredible. I love the manga. I don't know if the anime adaptation. I don't know about it. Here's another isekai that I am super excited about. Here's our slice of life fantasy. It is the sequel to Restaurant to Another World. Does Pride of Orange count as being into the stuff genre? I don't know yet because it only says sports. So I don't know if it might be the anime. That's a good point, Nathan. This could be the anime that is a bunch of girls being really into a thing, slice of life that I really like Laid Back Camp or there's a bunch of them. After School Dice Club. That fishing one, Diary of a Days of the Breakwater. Super Cub, which has more drama in it than four girls being into a thing, but it's still girls, and it's three girls being into a thing. Anyway, Restaurant to Another World 2. You should watch Restaurant to Another World. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. You could read it as well. It is, it's just about a dude that has a great restaurant, and every Saturday he closes it to the public in Japan because magical doors open all throughout the demon or the fantasy world, and people can just come in and buy good food and have a great time. And there's a demon girl that works there, and a girl that has the appearance of an elf, but she is not an elf. And it's just like pretty light and kind of fucking beautiful. And the food it's I mean, it's a slice of life where you're like, I want that food. Ooh, I want that food. So A plus. So psyched they're making more of it. Very surprised they were going to. Rumble Garandal. Who's set in the far off year of 2019. Um, I don't know anything about this. Sky of the Earth upside down. Parallel world keeps their former militarism. Real Japan. Oh, there's robots. Uh, rendering our modern weapons ineffective. I'm probably not gonna watch that. I don't even know if we'll get it. Sakugan. I'm really hoping that there isn't a tragedy element to this because it sounds fucking great. Underground world, robots, girl and her dad go on adventures, dangerous adventures. I'm hoping they meet cool people and have some good times. And I hope that no one fucking dies. But I don't know. It is based on a novel and looks fucking cool. You should watch the trailer for Sakugan. I imagine Funimation's going to pick this up, but I don't know. But I imagine Funimation would pick it up. It feels like a Funimation show. Um, Selection Project is a music idol show, so I'm not gonna watch it. Um, uh, I don't know. What is this? Oh yeah. I probably won't watch. I don't know. Daga Kobo makes stuff that I like. I don't know what the English name of this one is. Senpai ga Uzai Kawai no Hanashi. Um, it's basically like there's a lady in an office and her coworker is annoying, but maybe they're gonna date. Um, and it's like a romantic comedy at work. I'm interested. I like romantic comedies. I like slice of life with romance. As long as the dude isn't like mean and he's just like annoying, I'd be okay with that. But if he's like nagging, I'm not gonna probably check that out. But I am interested. Um, Shikuzaku this is a sci-fi high school battle suit thing. Uh, I don't. It doesn't sound good. I'm not gonna probably check it out. The art doesn't look good. Oof, that is some CGS CG there. I don't think I'm gonna check that out. Uh, Here's another romantic show, little romance show for you that could be good. Tashi Otome Fairy Tale. Tashi Otome Fairy Tale is like it starts rough. Dude has an accident. His dad sends him away to basically live out away from people because he's an embarrassment now after his accident. And then at some point, it's just like, hey, here's a lady to take care of you. She'll be your wife or whatever. But she's like great, and maybe by being together, they could be happy. Uh, yes, Nathan. Anime parents. Here's the thing: anime parents are alive if they hate you. If they love you, they don't stick around. Traditionally, in most cases, but if they hate you, they have to live so that you can show them that you have grown and you're better than them. Uh, that's not always the case, but it is often the case. But yeah, I don't know. This sounds like it could be fucking cute because this dude's just like hanging out, waiting to die, and then he's like, "Hey, here's a fun little lady. Maybe you two could like fall in love, and maybe you'll like learn something." I'm gonna give it a shot. I think it's a cute premise. Tact op destiny. Music is a weapon. It's music is a weapon. Um, it's that's all it is. It's girls fighting with the power of music scores. This is not girls liking a thing slice of life. This is a action fantasy thing where music is the weapon, and I just The trailer, I was just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Tesla Note, another show that I'm like, no, I'm good. Um, their aim is to recover the legendary of the legacy of the genius inventor Nikola Tesla, the shards of Tesla. Oof, that just tells me I'm not going to be into this. Uh, do I like the main character is a ninja? Sure, I do. Um, am I going to check this out? Probably not. All right, let's get through this because it's 11. Fairway Paladin. Uh, this is one of those ones where I'm like, is this going to make me really sad? Is this a sad and beautiful anime that I'm going to watch? I mean, yeah, I probably am. I probably am going to do this. The dude who gets raised by like weird fantasy monsters that aren't monsters. Uh, and this kid gets raised by them and he goes on a journey. And maybe this is going to be goddamn gorgeous. But this could be another To Your Eternity thing where I'm just real sad. I don't know. Here is a show that I can't fucking believe. There's two isekai this season that I can't believe got made, and this is the first of two. The Fruit of Evolution, before I knew it, my life had it made. So this dude just gets picked on, and his life is bad. His whole class gets isekai'd, and he gets separated from them. He's not with the rest of the class. And then it's a harem fantasy thing where he eats a thing and he gets buff as hell and he changes and he goes on adventures and he's having a pretty easy time of it. And there's like a lady that isn't really, he's not interested. And then she becomes gorgeous and he kind of feels bad for suddenly being into her, but not really bad enough. And I stopped reading it because it's not good at all. Um, yeah, I don't think he's great. I heard Fairway Paladin and thought it was some kind of god golf fantasy mashup. No, not that kind of Fairway. No, not Fairway. Far away. Fruit of Evolution. Like I said, I stopped reading the manga. I'm surprised this got made. I'm not too surprised, but there's a bunch of good isekai out there, and this one I was like, I don't know about this one. I stopped reading it. Maybe I'm going to watch it. It's an isekai. I don't think I'll keep watching it, but I'll try it. I'm not going to read The Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window. That doesn't seem. Or going to watch that. Doesn't seem good at all. Crunchyroll's got it. It doesn't seem good. Uh, a guy gets wrapped up in being an exorcist. The vampire dies in no time. The art doesn't do a lot for me, but the premise of just down on his luck vampire, like he's just like a wimpy vampire dude. I think that's fun. The Fruit of Evolution trailer lost me when the MC leveled up and got skinny. Yes, Nathan, I will agree with you that uh, that's not great. It's not a great look because he gets bullied for being overweight, and then he just eats a thing, and then he evolves, and evolution is being not fat anymore, and that's not great. Vampire Dies in No Time, psyched about that one. Here's the other anime that is an adaptation of a light novel and manga that I cannot believe got adapted into an anime. It's called The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. Cyberlink is making this because, of course, they are. Is kind of a cool premise because generally, the summoned or reincarnation, particularly reincarnation, involves a nobody who then goes to a fantasy world and uses their knowledge, or they played a video game and then they can use their video game knowledge in that world or whatever. There are exceptions to that, like the main character in Dog Days is a great athlete before he comes over. I'm trying to think of other examples of people who are the prodigies who are coming to this world. Problem children are coming to this world is another one. Those shows, those characters were extraordinary before they got to the fantasy world. Most of the time they're not. In this one, the world's best assassin dies and then gets reincarnated as an assassin who can use magic. And the twist of this one is it's because the goddess wants the hero to die and does the hero has to die, and so that's why this character gets reincarnated. But also there's like ladies that there's like, oh, the girl that's not that he saves and wants to marry him, and the girl that he ends up taking in and raises like a little sister that isn't related, and it's not good. I stopped reading the manga because I was like, this sucks. So maybe the anime, hey, maybe the manga is a bad interpretation of the light novel. Maybe by going to the light novel as a source, this is going to turn out to be great. Maybe they will take out the manipulation aspects of it that are really poor, but I didn't enjoy it. I don't like the main character. I don't care if he's a villain or not. He is, but it's not. That's not why I don't like him. I just don't like what he's doing. And let's see. Sukitalaka to Nosferatu is a uh, military superpower sci-fi vampire series that doesn't sound particularly great. Maybe it is. And then Visual Prison is a very fucking good name. But I'm not good. This is another music is a weapon. Okay, so sorry. This season we've got Isekai, we've got Mecha, and we've got music is a weapon. Those are the big trends this season. Um, just Visual Prison is a very fucking good name for a show I definitely won't watch from A1 Pictures. Um, it's a very good name. Uh, it's just music battles between bands. It's a battle of the bands, but with music. Um, Wachi Primagi. I don't know what that is. World Trigger Season 3. We're getting the third season of World Trigger. A show that took like 4 years to get to 60 something episodes, went away forever, and then came back last year with a regular second season. And now we get the third season. I really want all of the. I want to get back to the part where they fight the neighbors, and I want it to be less about the battles between students within the tournament arc, because this is just such a long tournament arc. Look, here's the thing: if you want to go watch the first episode of World Trigger Season 2, they do a damn good job of explaining what it, because it was years and years and years between World Trigger 1, which was, like I said, like it was just like a weekly show that ran and then took a break and then ran. It has like 60 episodes, and then season 2. But season 2 starts with trying to explain what the show is about, and I think it does a good job. So maybe give that a shot. Um, World's End Harem is somehow not an isekai. You can debate if it's an isekai or not. Basically, dude goes into cold storage, cold sleep, wakes up, the world's different. It's the same world, it's just the future. You could argue if that's a different world or not, whatever. Anyway, he wakes up, there's not a lot of dudes. I'm not going to watch it unless this is a show where someone's going to have to tell me, Pat, you're going to love this show. Then I'll try. But I don't think that's going to be for me. Also, the fact that obviously it's going to be ecchi, it's a harem show, but I'm like, meh, meh, meh. More Yashahime. I didn't love Yashahime. I will continue to watch it. I will continue. Uh, Yuki Yuna is the hero, the great Mankai chapter. I have not watched any of Yuki Yuna, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna check this out. I'm not really a shoujo person, but it could be the magical girls. Um, I'm gonna be fast with this because we're getting after. It's after 11 now, so I'm gonna try to go through this pretty quickly. At time of recording, this is I've been recording for 2 hours here, so I've been streaming for more than that. Let's see if I don't know if any of these shorts will get. Probably not. Oh yeah, we'll get this. Hey, weird. So I take it back. We are getting a four girls into a thing show this coming season because we're getting a second season of um, uh, Let's Make a Mug 2, TOL. We're getting a sequel to Let's Make a Mug 2. I don't know what they're going to... Are they going to call it Let's Make a Mug 2 too? Or they're going to call it something else with subtitle. But anyway, Let's Make a Mug is a short series. It's like 15-minute episodes, and then there's like a 10-minute live action, and you can watch the first season on Crunchyroll. It is about a girl joining a pottery club at a school, and discovering her connection to pottery from her mother and also her connection with her friends. It does not do, in my opinion, a good enough job of exploring the other characters outside of the main character, but they're all cute and they like pottery. And honestly, you don't usually see this stuff. The voice actresses in live action go to the place and see the sites because this is a show about this particular region in Japan that's famous for pottery, and that tourism board helped pay for this show to exist. So there's a live action component that aired on Crunchyroll, so you can watch that. We're getting more of that. I assume Crunchyroll will pick it up, but there's our cute girls into a thing show. Got more of Aquatope, more of Great Jaw will not be defeated. We're getting some movies. I'm going to go real quick through this. Oh, Sharks2K just subscribed saying, I haven't been able to watch the channel live much for work, but wanted to get my sub in live. Well, thank you, Sharks2K. We are getting close to wrapping up tonight. I'm glad you're here at the end of this, as I talked so much about anime. Hula Fula Dance sounds like it could be fun. That is a movie. I'm way behind on my Eureka stuff. I'm going to watch Jujutsu Kaisen 0. This is based on the standalone manga that was the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen. And they're going to do a movie of the prequel, which I think is a great way to introduce these characters and tell this story instead of putting it into the regular story. Just do it as a movie. I think that's great because that'll be a canon movie. See if there's anything else that looks like it would be really bad. Macross Frontier, so weird. It's an animated short that is with the live action that's coming out. It's weird. Let's see if there's any other movies. Sing a Bit of Harmony sounds like it's going to be beautiful and probably fucking sad. Because a weird new transfer student shows up and brings the joy of music to her class. And I just assume, look, spoilers if I'm right, I assume she's an android or an alien because she seems really weird. I don't know. I don't know what Summer Ghost is, but that looks gorgeous. The art. Sword Art Online, Progressive, the movie. There's Progressive. There's stuff for that. They're basically going back to doing the parts of Sword Art Online we don't see because there's everyone is now trapped in this world to, hey, I've been doing this for a while. There's a chunk in between those two. And so that's what Progressive is, like the slower story for that. More Yamato. Space battle, Star Blazer, space battleship Yamato. Like, fuck yeah. It's 2205. Hell yeah. Hey, Baki. There's going to be more Baki. I do not like Baki, but if you do, I'm glad you get more Baki because you get a lot. You're getting a lot of fucking Baki. I'm glad. Battleships Mirage. I don't know what that is. There's a thing listed here as an OVA that I got to talk about. There'll be 6 episodes of Gundam Breaker Battlelog. I'm getting 2 kits from the Battlelog series. Excuse me, because they're doing a new line of kits. I'm interested in finding out what this is. I don't know what it is yet. That is. There's an episode of My Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom There's going to be an unaired episode, like it's basically an OVA, that comes out soon. That is coming out with the volume, and I hope that Crunchyroll puts it up. If not, maybe I will have to find a way to watch it. Um, don't know what that is. Hey, there's gonna be some anime Star Wars stuff coming out. 9 episodes coming out in September. Anime Star Wars. Wait, that came out? Yeah, that came out today. At the time of recording, there's some anime Star Wars shit that came out. Uh, it looks kind of gorgeous. Hey, more Way of the House Husband. You're getting 5 more episodes of Way of the House Husband Part 2. Here's my hot take on that. I think you should just read Way of the House Husband. I really dislike the art style, and I don't care that the creator of the manga likes has said publicly that he enjoys the art direction of it. It's a motion comic, and it's a bad motion comic, and I don't care. I don't like it. So yeah, that's my hot take there. We ended with one more hot take. Is that I don't fucking enjoy that. Um, anyway, that is going to wrap this up. I'll do a proper outro for the stream in a moment, but youtube.com/Pat Baer. Check out the other episodes of Pat Baer's Anime Club. I will have more. Put out a new video for Pat Baer's Anime Club every other Monday. I will get into some more topics and themes coming up. I will also, in a couple weeks, have a video that will be focusing on the fall 2021 and what I'm really enjoying, like my top 3 or top 4. So that's coming. So check that out. And leave a comment about the shows you're most excited about and what you loved or hated about the summer 2021.